Welcome back, everybody, to Joe's RC Corner. Back from vacation, and I'm back on the Super Chipmunk build, and today we're going to be creating Waterslide decals. So stay tuned. Okay, so today we're going to be working on the Waterslide decals. So the first thing we're going to be doing is you got to find, if you do have the original decals, go ahead and use them. It makes it a little bit difficult to recreate because some of these older ones, they tend to yellow and the colors change a bit. So what you do is you take these Waterslide decals that you originally have and you put them on your scanner. You could probably take a picture of them as well, as long as it's a high resolution image. You want the detail, as much detail as you can get on them. So go ahead and you scan them, take a picture. You can even maybe look online for an image. I searched high and low on the internet, and I was not able to locate a high resolution image of the Pennzoil logo. So I went ahead and I scanned it in. As well as with the rest of them, as you can see on my screen here. Let me make sure you can see. So all of these images are the scanned ones, and they're high resolution images that you can use to make these decals. Some of them are going to be pretty easy, just to go ahead and just type them in. It's a lot easier to do so. So the end number, for instance, if you wanted to just type that out, you can just type that out. It's pretty easy to find a font that's very similar to the original one, so not a big deal there. Also with the one here with the experimental and the Super Chipmunk, those are also just basically typed letters. You can use a font that's very similar to it and recreate those pretty darn easy. When it comes to the fancy emblems and stuff like that, for instance, on the Super Chipmunk, the wheel pants have the star and the starburst on there. That one, you could probably recreate that one pretty easily using vinyl decal or something of that sort. However, we're going to go ahead and make a Waterslide decal of that today. So that'll be the next one. So as you can see, I'm going to blow this up here, make it as big as possible for you so you can get a good view of it. You can see around the edges all that yellowing that's in there, and that's from the original decal that I scanned. We're going to go ahead and take that image, we're going to send that over to my tablet, and we're going to go ahead and remove that. I would do it on a computer, however the software that I use is actually on my tablet, and I find it a little bit easier to operate using the pen to do it. And I have an Android, Samsung Android tablet here. So we're going to go ahead and reposition the camera, transfer the image to the tablet, and then we'll get started on it so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started right here on my tablet, okay? I'm going to do a screen capture on the tablet so that way you guys will be able to see exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So let me go ahead and get started. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and open the program. So the program that I use is Adobe Photoshop Mix. Okay, it is an Adobe Photoshop program, however it is free, which is why I liked it. So we will go ahead and get started. Now there are ads, unfortunately, so we're going to have to deal with those. But we'll go ahead and close that ad. So this, as you can see on the screen now, this was the Pennzoil logo. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to email myself the original image, the image that's on my screen here. The Adobe Photo, I'm going to back out of this one because that's one project. We're going to go ahead and start a new project, and it's on this device. So I'm going to go ahead and device, and here's the new file right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that file there. It's going to open it up. So now you can see that we have that file there. We need to clean this up. We need to take away all those extra bits and pieces there around the edges. So we're going to do cutout right there. So you can see cutout. And we're going to do the smart. I found that worked pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and just start. Oop, go back. We want to remove, so subtract. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Oop, too much there. And see how nicely this removes what you don't want there? Gotta be careful not to take too much though. Just like that. Let's see. I gotta get rid of this inside section here. Oop. See, now that I took too much. We'll back that out. And we're gonna zoom in now. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Zoom back out again. I'll zoom in over here now. Just like that. There we go. And zoom in over here. And then you hit the check mark. So now we have a file that doesn't have all that extra stuff in there that we didn't want. And we can print that directly. Okay, so once we have that portion of it all set and ready to go, we've got that now blanked out the background. We just have the decal image itself. Now we're ready to go ahead and save that, and then we'll export that as a PNG file. Okay, now that that is done, we're ready to move back over to the computer and go ahead and make the file as a print file. So stay tuned with me and we'll get right on that, okay? Okay, so now here you are looking over my shoulder at my computer screen here, and I got the file brought in now. I'm going to go ahead and download that file. I want to save, and we're going to save that onto my desktop just so it's easier to find right now. And so now what you'll see on the screen when I pull up that file is here's the original. And you see where the yellow is, and then here's on the new one where now we've removed that yellow background. Now I understand the side, the lines are not perfect, and that's, you know, I'm sure there's other software that can do a better job of that. However, we're not too concerned about it. This is also extremely blown up. This is going to go on the wheel pant. It's only going to be maybe a couple inches long, not this size. So most of the distortion here you may not even see. So I'm not too concerned about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the original one, and we're going to measure it and make sure that when we print this out onto another sheet on a piece of paper that we're getting it roughly the right size for the as the original one. So bear with me here and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed the original decal that I cut out and I scanned. And I got my ruler here. It's a 6-inch ruler, and as you can see, it is 6 inches long exactly. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for when I print these out. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and print them out on regular piece of paper first. Make sure all the settings are correct. Also exercise the print head a little bit, so that way when you print it on the final paper, it looks a lot nicer. Now I have 20 sheets of that A4 decal paper here, and let me show you what I got. So it is the, there you go, focused, Waterslide Decal Transfer Paper. It's some off-brand that I found on Amazon. I will leave the link in the description, so that way if anybody's interested in doing this as well, you're welcome to find it. Now, I want to touch base a little bit in regards to this paper. This is the transparent paper, okay? Printers don't print white, okay? The only way that you can feed this white colors into the image itself after you print it, okay, is if you're on a white background. Now, the color scheme of the aircraft is going to be here, okay? The decals here, the Pennzoil, and the star on the wheel pant here, they're going on white, okay? So that's practically providing the white for these prints. So other than that, the rest of the decals are pretty straightforward. The experimental logo, the Super Chipmunk write-in. I might even put Skip Volt's name here, such as on the real one. It looked like he had a signature on either side of the front of the canopy there on the front there. So that's our next step. Oh, one last thing. The other item that I am going to make, I'm not sure whether I'm going to do vinyl or Waterslide. Vinyl will probably be the easier way of doing it. All the stars on here, I'm not painting those on. Oh boy, no. And I'm not sure whether I will be going with the Waterslide white decal paper and then cut those stars out and then put the water slides on there. I won't have to print anything on them. It's just straight out cutting out stars. And then I can water slide those onto the paint scheme. So that's an option. I haven't fully decided on that yet. So we'll tackle that bridge when we get there. But there you go. Let's move on with the Waterslide decal part, and we'll get those printed out. So stay with me, and we'll get started on that next step. Okay guys, so we've completed doing the editing and doing the printing out of these logos. So here's the Pennzoil ones. Okay. And then we have here the end numbers, the wheel pant graphics, the Super Chipmunk, and the experimental ones. So those are all done and ready to go. So that's pretty good. We're going to let these dry a few minutes here. Let that ink kind of set in. And as you can see, in comparison to the old ones, all better. Nice and new, looking great. While I was at it, and I was printing out decals anyway, went ahead and made some Joe's RC Corner ones. So the small ones, I'm probably going to put one on the aircraft just as a, hey, I built the airplane type of thing. No, it's not scale, but hey, it is what it is. So now the next step we're going to do is we're going to go out to the garage. because I don't want to spray this stuff inside here. But we use here the testers. If it'll focus here. Let's get it to focus. There we go. The testers Decal Bonder. Okay. And what that Decal Bonder does is we'll spray a light coat over this paper. Okay. We'll do a light coat over it. That'll seal, that'll actually bond that ink to the decal itself. And then we'll be able to cut those out and apply those to the aircraft. Once that's done, you know, after the painting done and everything like that, then we can transfer those decals right onto the airframe and do a clear coat on top of it, and that'll seal everything in and look great after that. So let's head out to the garage now, and we're going to do a quick spray on those and see how that comes out. Okay guys, so now we're out here in the garage. I got these laid out here nice and neat. You want to do this in a very well ventilated area. However, for sound, I do have the garage closed, but I'm not going to be out here very long. So again, we got the testers Decal Bonder here. You got to shake it up really good. And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do a light dusting just to seal it in to start with, okay? So we'll spray these out. It'll be just a light dusting. Okay, that is all. That's your starting point. Let that dry, okay? Give it probably about 5 minutes or so to dry off, and then you can come back with another coat, another light dusting. You don't want to put on this the spray on too heavy at one time. It will cause the ink from the printer to run, and we don't want that. We want nice sharp lines. So we're going to go ahead and let that sit for a few minutes, let that dry off, and then we'll come back to it, okay? Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to shake up that can one more time here, and we're going to do another coat on these. Shake that up again. Here we go, another light coating. And we let them sit again for another 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do another coat. Okay guys, we're back for the final coat. And this coat's probably going to be a little bit heavier than the last one. It'll be a little bit heavier than the last one just because we want to make sure we have a nice bond here. Now we've done 2 coats already. Next coat, like I said, a little bit more, but we're going to get that on there now. Don't forget to shake the can, so just shake it up and do that nice last coat on here, okay? Nice even coats. Okay, and that is it. Okay guys, so thank you for joining me today on Joe's RC Corner. We finished the decals for all of you that were interested in it. I hope it was helpful to everybody. So just as a recap here, so we went through taking the old decals, scanning them into the computer, using the software to remove the backgrounds and making them an image with no background. And we did that with all of the decals here. So we got the end number, the wheel pant star, all those were done. And we went ahead and made our new decal sheets. Now, like I mentioned, These are on a transparent Waterslide Decal paper. There are versions of this paper that's a white background. So if you are going to be putting these images or these graphics on a colored background, then you might want to look at doing a white paper to do so. That way, when you transfer these water slides onto the model, you will have that white background. Okay, so you need to make sure you trim them really well. If you remember on my Cougar, the Blue Angel logo, not the yellow writing, but the logo, their shield, I did that on white Waterslide decal because it was going on a blue aircraft. Okay, now you just make sure you cut it as close to the image as possible, so that way you don't have a lot of overside. Now the benefit of the clear is you don't have to get exactly close. You don't have to be right on that image. You can leave a little bit of the water slide on there because it'll be clear when you put it on the other side. So just be aware of that when you're making these. So I'm really happy with how these came out. Next week we will be working on the hatch for the Super Chipmunk. I know I mentioned in the last post on Facebook that I was going to be doing that on this video, but I did have some people asking about how I made these decals, so I figured it'd be a great video for when I first came back from my vacation to do the decal papers. I want to thank you all for the support here on Joe's RC Corner. Without your support, definitely wouldn't be able to make this happen. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video where we start working on the battery hatch of the canopy. Hey guys, don't forget to visit my Teespring store. I have some great t-shirts and mugs that have the Joe's RC Corner logos on it. Help share my channel, and every purchase does give me just a little bit to help bring you better content. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and share with your friends and family. Thanks guys.